Could you give a quick rundown of how you got involved with, into TACFIT, and you met Scott and Clubhouse, because and then we talked a
Yeah,
little bit about
I
that
was
stuff.
when I started physical education, I was looking for improving my self-image, my confidence, and I started to train bodybuilding style of strength training. In Brazil we call it musculação, like something like muscle action.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have like a strength and conditioning, but more turned to bodybuilding approach. So I started to do that, and I started to feel better. But I always had a background on martial arts and sports, so it was like a different approach to training. It was more like statical, about statics than functions. So I was glad at a point, but I think you never get satisfied with the results with like this kind of approach. You always want more, to get bigger, 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 and you start to do not pay attention to the functions you may have, but only for the look, So I started to feel like after 10 years doing this kind of training, or 12 years, I started to notice my health coming like weaker, Weaker. Yes, my immune system, I was getting sick every time. I was spending a lot of money with supplements, heavy supplements.
I remember back in the day, I was all about the supplements, right?
Yeah, a lot of supplements, a lot of pills to enhance the performance of the strength training, to enhance hypertrophy. But my stomach was not good at the time, and I see myself like decaying instead of growing, improving. So I decided to put this kind of work away a little bit. And it was like very crazy at one point, because it was not like today everybody discussing mobility, functional training, and movement. So I started to do a lot of crazy stuff, hybrid movements, too much complexity, without progression.
You didn't know what you were doing, yeah.
Yeah. So at this time we didn't have kettlebells.
You knew there was other ways, right?
I started.
You're trying to figure out the ways to train.
Yes, some calisthenics.
Because it wasn't right what you were doing. You were getting stiffer,
feeling pains.
Yeah.
More than muscle soreness. It was like constant pain on the lower back. My first injury on the back, the lower back, was doing like Smith machine heavy squats. You can't like have room to move the bar.
How common? You being a trainer for over 20 years, how common is that you see in the industry, like training, industry?
I think we have like a surge of new ways of thinking right now.
Yeah.
But it's still very popular and strong, this mindset of constructing the physique, the aesthetics. I think this is very strong, and I don't think it's bad to do that. Everybody wants to feel better about their own image, and I think it's good to work on that. But I think it's a problem when you put that in like the only thing that matters. My health doesn't matter as long as I get ripped and like six packs and big.
It changes, right, when you're 20 years old to then when you're 40 years old, right?
Yes, a lot.
It's you didn't realize it, right?
After you have many injuries, put yourself away from training due to that, irresponsibility, you start to praise more your longevity, your quality of life with your family, because we need to work a lot. When you're younger, you can sacrifice some work, to pursue your own personal goals. And
so
you need to balance that.
How do you convince these young guys to train the right way?
Sometimes they
have
time.
to fail?
They need their own time, because it's not something like a older guy could not be doing bodybuilding because he's not mature. And, it's like everyone has its own time and its own perspective. Some people like 50 years, 60 years still want to be like bodybuilders, to inject like steroids to get bigger. So it's not a matter of age, it's a matter of culture itself and the medium you're living in, you're working, I think I switch a lot of...
your surrounding, you're saying?
My surrounding, yes. The medium is like the surroundings. Your friendships, the media
circle.
you consume, you know, you start to absorb that, and without diligence and observation, you start to be like that without thinking, you know. I think it's more like that. You want to be accepted, you want to be loved, to feel like someone is have desire towards you, you know. Everybody think you're pretty, you're strong. So this motivates a lot of people to do harm to themselves, you know. And I started to notice that. I tried to break the cycle. I started I sacrificed my muscle mass, some of it, you know, because I still feel like strong. I feel like I have muscle mass enough for what I need. So the muscles entering my way, I took them out so I could be leaner, faster, even stronger than I was, you know, much stronger, more mobile. I could have some time to learn the skills I want to learn, you know, because to learn new skills, you need to commit some time to it.
Yeah. Feel better. Yeah.